Welcome into Vanderbilt SI. I'm Joey Dwyer. He's Graham Baca. We're here outside Neyland Stadium. Long story as to why we're outside Neyland Stadium. We'll tell it another day.
Yeah, that's a story for the future. It's wild, man.
Tonight, we'll talk about Vanderbilt's huge win over Tennessee, a 45-24 win. One of the best in program history. I think the only one in my mind that is a more significant and program-altering win is the win over number 1 Alabama last year. This year, I mean, this gets you to 10 wins on the season. It changes a rivalry trend that we had really seen just beat down Vanderbilt over the years. Finally, this group is the winners. I think we still smell like cigar smoke.
Oh my gosh.
And we heard a lot of music in that locker room. All that to say, a special night for Vanderbilt football, one that I think people will remember for a long, long time.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Special night, historic night. I mean, one that not only the players will remember, but the whole entire fan base will remember for probably the rest of their lives. I mean, you know, it wasn't just a dominating win. It wasn't just it was a dominating win against your in-state rival by 3 touchdowns that allowed you to get your first 10-win season ever, including the seasons in which Vanderbilt has won a bowl game. They've never won 10 games, and so this night is more than just a rivalry win. It's more than just a dominant rivalry win. It is like you said, it is one of the biggest wins, one of the most special historic nights in, I would say even Vanderbilt athletics history, let alone football, right? So, I mean, what else can you say other than wow? I mean, you just had, tie game at halftime, 21-21. The offense was flying around like we sort of thought they would, and then the second half, Vanderbilt, I thought, once they got that touchdown to go up 28-21 to start the third quarter, I mean, I just kind of thought they were in full control of that game. Tennessee got a field goal to make it 31-24, but it didn't really matter. I mean, Vanderbilt was just all over Tennessee's defense. The offense was just in rhythm. I mean, they took advantage of Tennessee's vulnerable defense, which has given up 30-plus to every SEC opponent except for one this season. And so, look, it's a dominant win all around. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Playoff win or not, or playoff or not, I think this is a night people will remember for a long time as a special one. That being said, they couldn't have made a better statement to the College Football Playoff Committee. First of all, the narrative that their defense wasn't good or that this would be a complete shootout because Vanderbilt didn't have the horses defensively. There's no way you can believe that after this. That defense looked like a defense that could win a playoff game tonight, and that's a huge deal. Vanderbilt's offense was as explosive as it's been, and the style points in the second half were there as well. And that's excluding Martell Height bringing a belt around after the game and smacking it on the wall or whatever. That's different than Vanderbilt's players singing along to Rocky Top, which seems a little counterintuitive, but I think it was a trolling gesture.
For sure. Oh, yes.
They win by 21 points against Tennessee, Graham.
Yeah.
How do you make a better statement than that at this point in the season? I don't know. I don't think there really is a way that they could have done more than that. I think they made the strongest statement out of basically any bubble team tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think you go down the bubble. I mean, you look at Vanderbilt, dominating performance on the road. I wonder if maybe the committee, if they just sort of maybe assumed that Tennessee was going to win this game, and maybe that was their hidden reasoning as to why they haven't jumped Vanderbilt any spots ahead of Utah, which I thought is very unimpressive these last 2 weeks. I don't think Utah could even compete with Vanderbilt, to be honest. When I watch both teams these last 2 weeks, you look at Miami did have a strong win. BYU struggled against UCF very early. They came out with a double-digit win, but look, the statement that Tennessee made was, and you couldn't ask for a stronger statement, I don't believe. I mean,
from Vanderbilt, not
Tennessee. Right, exactly. Or yes, from Vanderbilt, yes.
See,
so
guys,
it's like
if only you guys knew what we did to get you guys
this video. It's ridiculous. We'll tell about the story one day, but
we'll get some stuff on the site tonight, and it might be a few minutes later than anticipated because of some other extenuating circumstances.
Exactly. So when you look at this win, I mean, I think Vanderbilt gave the committee a very huge problem on their hands, because now what do you do with a Vanderbilt team that, one, has been dominant down the stretch of this season, dominated a top 20 team on the road, rivalry week. I mean, and look, Vanderbilt's wins have not aged well. We know that. Missouri's win did not age. The win over Missouri didn't age well. The win over LSU didn't age well. Certainly with South Carolina, right? But I still think there's something to say in that the SEC is deep. Everyone knows how deep the SEC is. Everyone knows how deep the SEC is.
Knoxville's an interesting place.
Knoxville. Don't get me started on Knoxville. Oh my gosh, I could go on a rant. But look, Tennessee or Vanderbilt has given the committee a huge problem on their hands. Where what do you do with Vanderbilt? I think they certainly jumped Utah with this. Was it enough style points to jump either BYU or Miami? If it is, well, that's one less problem to worry about. Miami, we'll see. We have no idea what's happening with the ACC. The ACC is wild. If Miami could get into the ACC championship, they could not. I don't think it's looking like it is right now, especially because you need SMU to lose at this point. But if they were to get into the ACC title, that would be great for Vanderbilt because that puts an extra at-large spot out there because Miami would have the auto bid for the ACC. But if Miami doesn't, again, in the conference title, that's going to be a problem for Vanderbilt because that's one extra obstacle to climb. Now, you need, of course, Oklahoma came away with a last-second win over LSU. I mean, how does that look in the eyes of the committee where you're looking at Vanderbilt and Oklahoma? The committee's probably going to fall back to Alabama to win at Alabama for Oklahoma, which is probably going to keep them in the playoffs. So Vanderbilt has put the committee in a very tough position where they are now forcing the committee to show their hand in that how much have you actually valued Vanderbilt? How much do you actually, what do you actually see in Vanderbilt throughout this whole season, through 10-2, historic season? You got great wins, especially a statement win at the end of the regular season. So the committee is forced to show their cards now. And I think for Vanderbilt, that's good, but also could be bad because they could still be boxed out.
Yeah, Graham, I don't think we want to go much longer, but I'll leave us with this. Brandon Fontenette said tonight, Vanderbilt's one of the hottest teams in the country. Hard to disagree with him at this point. And you're starting to see Clark Lee really put on the full court press to the College Football Playoff Committee.
Yes.
He's talking about how they've gotten better throughout the course of the season. All of that is applicable. Tonight is about Vanderbilt beating Tennessee, though.
Yes.
And I think that's a huge deal. There's a lot of memories that Vanderbilt fans will have forever as a result of tonight. Diego Pavia making it rain in the end zone, the Heisman pose.
Yep.
Just an unbelievable night in so many ways for Vanderbilt football. And I think it just says so much about this build and the way that it's come to fruition. This was one of the more special wins that I've seen the Vanderbilt team have. We were on the field with the team post-game, and just the emotion was so jarring to see from them. I don't know that it was Diego Pavia's best game. They did enough to make a huge statement tonight, though. And the defense, too, like we had talked about, they gave up 3 points in the second half to one of the more explosive offenses in the league. You can't bypass that either. Just a tremendous start-to-finish performance from Vanderbilt tonight. You had the 2 early turnovers, and I think those were almost evidence of the increased margin for error that this program has nowadays. I don't think a year ago it could have overcome those. Tonight it did.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 2 early turnovers. Pavia talked about that in the press conference where he sort of played it similar to the Alabama game, right, where he had 2 turnovers that really turned the tide of that game, right? I mean, if Vanderbilt is able to score on those possessions, that is a totally different game that Vanderbilt could probably have won, to be honest. Like, I mean, those were huge swings with those turnovers, and so he fell back to that and compared tonight to that where he thought this was a maturing point and a growing point where he's like, okay, I've been here before. Let's see if I've learned. Let's see if I can improve off of that. And boy, did he. I mean, he comes back from those 2 early interceptions, puts on another great performance, especially in the second half. 268 passing yards, I believe, 165 rushing yards with a rushing touchdown. I mean, it almost makes you, it doesn't quite make you forget about those early interceptions, but I think it sort of makes up for it in that way. And so I do think Diego Pavia is certainly deserving of Heisman finalist. I think he would have my Heisman vote, to be honest. Right now he would, because you look at the stats, and he's said in the past, there's 2 things that don't lie: stats and tape. And when you compare Pavia's stats to the likes of Mendoza or Sayin, passing yards, he's got them. Completion percentage is roughly under that of Mendoza. It was a little under Julian Sayin's. Rushing yards and the rushing statistics were he blew them out of the water compared to Mendoza and Sayin. And so I think the stats don't lie. Like I don't think it's like some foregone conclusion. People like to say it's some foregone conclusion that Mendoza's a Heisman. Look, rightly so. He's a great player. But Pavia and just what he has done and the impact he has had on this university and this program has been unmatched. Like, you cannot find it anywhere else in the country. And so I think he's very deserving of the Heisman. And I think tonight proved it. He has a bad moment. He comes back, has a Heisman-like second half,
and maybe a Heisman moment.
Right, exactly a Heisman moment at that as well. And so Pavia has a very good case to be the Heisman. Let's just face it. I think he does, and we'll see it on December 8th when the finalists are announced. I think he will certainly be a finalist at this point. In terms of whether he wins or not, I think he should. We'll see what the country thinks.
For sure. Graham, one more thing. Cedric Alexander, an unbelievable performance.
I'll have a story on that tonight.
For sure. The best of his career, I think by far.
Yes.
And I think a lot of Vanderbilt players answered the call tonight. They are built for games like this. They're built for the big moments like this. And, man, that's a game that we'll have to go more in depth on moving forward. But just for now, one that will live in Vanderbilt's fans' hearts forever. It's one of those that you're going to see advertised on the Jumbotron Memorial Gym.
No question.
Throughout the winter, you're going to see highlights from it. Maybe at the baseball Jumbotron of the spring.
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge marketing thing for this Vanderbilt program. And, man, this thing just keeps rising. To tease some stuff on the site, I've got an Inside Diego Pavia's Performance story coming out tonight with some insight on kind of what went into it and what he battled through to get to it. I got a column about the significance of the win inside Vanderbilt celebration as well. Graham, you got the Cedric Alexander story. We've got a lot more coming from you if you want to say anything else.
Yeah, obviously we got instant analysis coming. Obviously I had the transcript of the postgame from Clark Lee. Of course, the Cedric Alexander story, what a night he had. Then I'm gonna do a story on what Clark talked about in terms of the playoff conversation.
He made his pitch.
Yeah, he made his pitch. So tune in for that, and plenty more. So stay tuned.
Thing. We got a one-on-one with Candace Story Lee,
athletic director.
We'll be writing that tomorrow.
Yes.
So,
a
big couple
exclusive
days.
content you will not find anywhere else.
That's right. You guys don't want to miss it. We're sorry for the short post-game reaction.
Yeah.
Graham, I think me and you wanted to punch someone coming in here. We were booted off the field.
Yeah, we were.
In the stadium, the two most disrespectful people on the Vandy beat.
Yeah,
as you can imagine. But
of course,
we've triumphed. We've made it out to the sidewalk.
Yeah,
and we're not delivering what the people want to see.
Exactly.
Albeit maybe 30 minutes later than we walked around the railroad to get here, but we're
a little bit of a fun police on the field kicking us off. But
Vanderbilt had plenty of fun tonight itself, though. It probably took up all. The fun for the night.
Oh yeah.
To wrap it up, just a special night for Vanderbilt football. One of the most special nights in its history. We'll see what happens from here. Enjoy it tonight, though. Just a tremendous win for this program. A tremendous win for Clark Lee and Diego Pavia and the magnum opus of this 2025 Vanderbilt team. Thank you guys for watching. God bless. Check out the site tonight. We'll have plenty of content for you.
Legacy run incoming.
We'll talk to you soon. Peace.